Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Lil Mito. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Vicky, and which a lot of y'all are probably new here because this is only our second episode, and we got more to come. Okay, but if you're returning from last week, which was our very first episode, basically the introduction, welcome back. If you're returning from the last video, let me know what caught your attention. Like, what in the video from last week made you say, I'm gonna see what she's talking about again next week, and the week after that, and the week after that. But y'all, let's go ahead and get started because we are on a time frame today, and it is currently 12:48. So, first of all, it's 12:48, and it is Tuesday, October 21st. And I really just finished my morning routine. I had my morning tea. I had my yoga stretches this morning. And I also went in there and made me some breakfast, y'all. I made me a pancake, some eggs, and I had me some orange juice on the side. Now, I did get a late start this morning, but that's because I didn't know if I was going to eat breakfast this morning. I was like, what am I supposed to be doing today? Because when I did Ava's hair, it kind of threw me off a little bit because I wasn't really getting no sleep. Because the night that we did her hair, which I think was Friday, yeah, Friday night we did her hair. We didn't go to sleep till like 4 in the morning, and then got up Saturday and went to work, and then worked Saturday and then worked again on Sunday. Your girl has not been getting any rest, okay? So I ended up. What did I end up doing, y'all? Yesterday, got it. I know where I was going with that. So yesterday I was supposed to record this episode, but a girl was tired, okay? And I ended up going to bed early because I was like, I'm just gonna record it on Monday night. Wrong. We not recording on Monday night. Auntie got in the bed, baby. Auntie was in bed by 11 o'clock. I usually don't be in bed there early. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But like for the most part, I be in bed by like 11:30, and then get right back up at like 6 or 7. But that's on the occasion that I don't have no homework to do because y'all know a girl go to school. So, but yeah, when I woke up this morning, I was like, when I woke up this morning on my calendar, today is Tuesday. I was supposed to work today, but since I didn't do the video yesterday, I have to get it done today because later this week I have things to do. Like I got a final exam to do. I got to get out for Thursday night football. Friday is the days that is. A girl got things to do. Okay. Okay. So a girl has things to do, honey. But let's go ahead and get into our topics for today. I ain't gonna talk y'all here though. Kind of already did, but that's why y'all here. So, how is it being an entrepreneur, and what do you find is the hardest challenge? For me, being an entrepreneur is like I love having my freedom. Being an entrepreneur, like I get to go where I want, when I want, how I want. The only obstacle, the only obstacle that I may face with that is having to take Ava with me everywhere. But it really don't bother me or her per se because we're supposed to be together. I'm her mom. She's supposed to be able to live my life or live in the days of my life while just simply existing while I'm teaching her things that I'm also learning going through life too. If that makes sense. Versus when I worked the 9 to 5, I was constricted to work at a specific desk area. You know what I mean? So it was like I had to sit at this computer for 8 hours a day, minus the 1 hour that I got to go get Ava from school. And then by the time we get back, we still only had like 20, 25 minutes together until I get off work. And then when I got off work, I had to cook dinner, help her homework, make get her in the tub, make sure she has her school clothes out, iron her school clothes. And then by the time I finish all that, it would be about 11, 12 o'clock at night. Yeah. But That's neither here nor there. But it becomes to be a lot for somebody who actually already has a full-time job, and it's like you don't get to have that freedom to go here, go there, and do what you want to do and when you want to do it, or handle other business that you can get done when you're sitting on this clock to help make somebody else rich. But that's entrepreneurship is not for everybody. I will say that entrepreneurship is not for everybody. Some people they don't like having that will to do everything that they want to when they want to. Like they like to have a structured schedule. I go to work this day to this day from this time to that time and I go on lunch at this time. That's no that's no biggie. Like that's no problem. It's just not for me. I like to do what I want to do in my own time. And I also want to do what I like to do. So when I quit my job, I actually started doing Uber full time. And I actually love doing Uber because I actually love to drive. Actually love driving, honestly. I love to drive, y'all. And I had really thought about quitting my job maybe like a year or so ago, probably more than a year ago. Because I had started asking the people around me, like, what do y'all think about me getting my CDL and OTR and homeschooling Ava or being local and doing this, that, and the third? And they were just like, if you're gonna be in it, you gotta be in it. But I knew like I love driving the highway for anybody that knows me or y'all that don't know me. I actually do love driving the highway. I just don't like driving my car on the highway. I don't like putting wear and tear on my car because I drive my car daily already. So it just be like I don't want to add that extra wear and tear on there. But doing Uber, it works for me. Because in a sense I'm still my own boss. I am still considered an entrepreneur because I get I think it's a 1099 form where I'm like an independent contractor with Uber. I sell candles and make candles. I am a full-time student, okay? Full-time. Full-time student, sweetie, okay? Full-time student, we already know that I'm a full-time mom around the clock. Like anything that goes on with her, I have to drop whatever I'm doing and go see about her. Okay. It don't matter what I'm doing. If I'm on a flight, turn this gun around. I gotta go see about my baby. Okay. But yeah. And then what's your hardest challenge? So I feel like my hardest challenge with being an entrepreneur would be with being a entrepreneur. My hardest challenge with being an entrepreneur is time management. Okay. Now y'all just heard me tell y'all everything that I am. I'm a full-time mom. I'm a full-time business owner. I'm a full-time student. I'm a full-time Uber driver. I'm a full-time podcaster. I'm a full-time blogger. I'm a full-time content creator. I'm a full-time friend. I'm a full-time family member. Like it becomes to be a lot because I would say on a day-to-day basis, right? My daily routine, if I don't have anything to do, is get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, get Ava up and ready for school. Get her to school by 7:30, and then I come home, change clothes, then I go for a walk around in my apartment, and then around the apartments I always end up at the gym. So I spend about an hour in the gym. Come home, do my home yoga in my sunroom because it's if you have a sunroom, you know it's like it's outside, but it's still inside. So it's still connected to my apartment, but the way the windows are, like the screens are, it's screened in. So with it being screened in, it feels like in there, it feels like whatever it feels like outside. And I, for one, love the fall time, baby. Okay, so I be in there. That's besides the point. But my my next thing to be would do to get in the shower, and then if it's a Monday or Tuesday or whatever day I have going on, I either do homework or I go ahead and I go out and do Uber for a minute. And usually, if that is the case, if I go out and do Uber, I'm usually doing it from like 10:30 in the morning until about 1:30 in the evening, like in the afternoon, depending on what area I'm in, because I do have to go pick up Ava from school, and she gets out of school at 2:20. So I like to be there by between 2:25 and 2:30. I like to already be at the school just so it's easier for me and her to get there, you know? And then now, with it just being me and her, we go right back to work until about 8:30 at night. And in the meantime, that's usually taking up most of my day. But in the meantime, with me picking her up from school and us doing Uber Eats, that is my time to actually connect with my daughter versus when I was working a job, I had to come back and clock right back into work and do what they need me to do and not really more so tend to her, if that makes sense. I want to be an active parent. Well, I'm not even saying I want to be. I am an active parent. I want to be involved in every little thing. Like, I want to be a part of the upbringing because before Ava turned 1, I was working at I want to tell y'all where I was working at. No, I want to tell y'all where I was working. But before Ava turned 1, like when she was in the month stages, like 5 months, 6 months, I was doing security, and then that caused me to do a lot of overtime over the course of basically that year of me being at that security company. It caused me to do a lot of overtime, so I missed a lot of like baby time with Ava. Not a lot, but I did kind of miss a lot because I didn't work overtime every day or every time that I did have to work. But a girl did, like, it was a point where I was working 16 hours, 6 days a week with 1 day off. The money was good though, but I was losing out on that time. So I can make that money back. I can get that time back with my baby. So ever since then, I vowed to, like, any job, anything that takes up too much of my time away from my kid, where I can't spend time with my kid that I birthed, that didn't ask to be here, that's my responsibility. Anytime anything takes too much of that time, I got to throw the deuces. I got to go because a girl is a mom first and foremost, right after being a child of God. Okay, amen. But I said that to say that's my time to actually connect with Ava and see what intellectual level we on, because that's when we go over like personal information, like what's your family member's name, phone numbers, addresses. Tell me this in a complete sentence. Spell these words. Say these numbers. What number goes past this? You know, things like that. Or where do you live? Where are you from? Or just simply like doing math problems. You get what I'm saying? So it's like that's our time to produce her brain more because she's 6. She's about to be 7, but she's 6. So it's like registering to her, like, now this is where her brain development comes to, like, remember things and know things and like the way that you are to move about through life, you know? So that's our time for that. And then, so the next thing that we have is accepting critiques. I don't usually have a problem with accepting critiques, but just the deliverance on, like, the delivery, like, if your delivery is not right to me, I'm not listening. I don't care what it is. It don't even have to be a critique, but that's just me. If the way that you talk to me does not present in a respectful, toneful manner, then I'm not listening. It's going in one ear, not the other. And I might say you shut talk to me, but we're working on ourselves, okay? But again, that's just me. So I don't really have a problem with accepting critiques as long as they're presented in a respectful manner and, like, in a nice way, like, because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And a lot of people really need to understand that. Because at one point I didn't understand it. Like, I was like, what you mean how I say it? Because what you mean how I said? I'm just saying it. But when it started to happen to me, that's when I was like, oh, okay. You gotta chill out. This is what they talking about. Like, you getting your point across, but your point still not being going, like, your point still not registering to them because of the way that you said it. Like, I'm not gonna listen to you when you yelling at me. I'm not gonna listen to you when you yelling at me. Cause why you yelling at me? Let's start with who you think you're talking to first. Let's start there. But anyway, a thing that goes along with that is, how are you applying it? I would say, like, it depends on what the critique is, how I actually apply it to my life. Like, I don't think lately, and any y'all correct me if I'm wrong, my people that's in my life, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think like lately within the past week or two ago, week in the past couple weeks, nobody, I don't think anybody has really given me any critique lately. I don't think so. I can't put my finger on it. If so, like, if you did give me a critique, please let me know. Because I honestly don't remember. And if I don't remember, that goes to show if I'm actually applying it. Well, I take that back because I still do be like applying. I do still do be applying critiques even without like remembering the actual critique. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody say you're doing this, I suggest doing that. Like, I might not remember you saying it, but I probably remember that the day that I move on, moving through life, like, I'm gonna start to notice it. Like, I'm gonna start to pay attention to it more within, like, I say within a week or so. Dang. That's funny because that means my growth is being taken seriously by those around me. And that means God is also pushing me and actually showing me signs within a week. Because I literally just thought about that while I was telling y'all, like talking to this camera, that I start to take heed to my critiques within a week. And that means, to me, that means God is talking to me. Like, anything that's sent to me to help me like be a stronger woman, or like a good businesswoman, or a family or a friend or anything like that, that's sent to help me grow. And that's all God wants for me to do anyway, is to grow and evolve from a place that I used to be to the place where I want to be. Okay? And the place that I'm gonna be. Okay? Yeah. Another thing with critiques is also like, some of them can be wrong. And then this also falls into the second point, with the last point that I have with accepting growth critiques. Some of them can come in the wrong form. Like, they can be sent from like somebody trying to deter you off your path. Like, people will really come into your life, see how you moving, see how you doing this and that, just to see how you do it. Not even knowing that, baby, this is the favor of God. Okay? Because some days I don't know how I'm doing it, but I get up and I pray and I talk to God every day throughout my days. Okay? Like, what everybody see is literally the favor of God and a strong support system. Like, my support system is unmatched. But let's go back to let's go back to deciphering growth critiques, and let's go back to deciphering growth critiques and them coming from the wrong people. So my opinion with this is like, not even no opinion, this is a fact for my life. If you're able to decipher who you can and can't talk to, that's how you gonna decipher if a critique that they give you is good, or if a critique they give you is wrongfully placed, like wrongfully informed. Like, it's not coming from a place of like a genuineness. Is that right? I don't know. It's not coming from a genuine place. Let's just say that. So, if you able to determine if it's good from this person or it's bad, because sometimes it may not always appear as bad straight off the bat. You know, it may come off as a underhanded compliment. Now let that go over your head. We're not gonna spend too much time on that. We are not gonna talk too much into that. But there's a lesson in everything that goes on in life. And every time somebody says something to you, read between the lines. Okay? If you can read between the lines, you can decipher if it's good or if it's bad. But not everybody can do that. And I strongly suggest you getting connected with the Most High for you to actually be able to determine that, like right off the bat. Like for me, I can come around you one time and I'll know, like, you know. But there also like another part of me is also like standoffish with people anyway, because you never know what people really be on. Like you don't know if they like you or if they just like being around you because of the way they make you feel and stuff like that. So for me, I've never really been a people person anyway. So the fact that I've gotten closer with God and He's actually like giving me that intellect light to like decipher who is who, because rightfully so, before I knew I was around the wrong people, but I still chose to be around them, if that makes sense. It makes sense. Y'all get what I'm saying. Yeah, if being around the wrong crowd is gonna cost you every time and you're gonna suffer. You're going to suffer. Even if you think that you're not gonna suffer, babe, you're gonna suffer. Okay? You're gonna suffer. And suffering is not always like a physical thing. Sometimes it's a mental thing, or sometimes it's delayedness. He can't give you what you want because you're not even in the circle that you're supposed to be in. I can't bless you because then you're gonna bless them, and I'm still working on them. But I ain't gonna preach to y'all. We're gonna go on to the next thing. Okay. Okay. Our next and final topic for this episode of Lil Mike Talks is gonna be financial literacy. How did I learn to save? Like budgeting and yeah. So financial literacy. I am still learning to save. Okay? I'm learning to save because nobody has really like taught me the art of saving. I literally had to fall on my multiple times for me to finally say, okay, enough is enough. Like nobody really ever sat me down and described, you do this financially, you do this, or like you map this out, then you map that out. You get what I'm saying? So like nobody actually like sat down and broke that down to me piece by piece until I started asking. Like I feel like financial literacy is something that it just automatically needs to be taught. It doesn't need to wait for me to ask. It's just something that needs to be taught. It doesn't wait. Like I can't even get it out. It doesn't need to wait for someone to ask, how does the way of life go financially? And that's just with the basic minimum things like mapping out your bills. How much money do you make an hour? How much do you make in overtime? When is this bill due? When is that bill due? Does this bill date need to be moved over here? Does this one need to be moved over there? Can you use your first check to get it? Or maybe you get paid twice a month. Can you use your first check to pay it? Can you use the second check to pay it? Maybe you get paid every 2 weeks. You pay this bill, you pay that bill, you pay that bill. Maybe you get paid every week. You pay this, you pay that, you pay that, you pay that. But it starts with a basic plan. So for those of you that do not know how to do that, the first thing that you need to do is write down, excuse me, the first thing that you need to do is write down all of your bills in the due dates, down to the penny. The subscriptions too. So rent, lights, water, anything that you pay on a monthly basis, it needs to be wrote down and the date that is due. And then next you're gonna calculate how much you actually need. Let me take that back. Next you're gonna calculate how much your income is. So how much do you make every 2 weeks, every week, depending on your paycheck? How much are you making? And then total that to a month. Whatever that total is, you need to calculate this total. That's gonna determine if you living above your means or if you kind of doing okay for yourself. Okay. So once you do that, that's gonna help you determine like, do I need to increase my income? Do I need to cut some of these bills out? More than likely, they go hand in hand. For me personally, I started cutting bills out and then I also started making more money too. So I think I told y'all earlier in the video, I quit my job to do Uber. I literally make more money doing Uber than I was sitting at this job in less amount of time. Like it only made sense for me to do it because me transferring, I worked. So what I was doing before I quit, I was doing customer service, right? So I was sitting on the phones all day, or I was in the chat all day, or I was working emails. For me, that it became too draining. Like I'm a people person, but I'm not a people person. Like talk to me, but don't keep talking to me. Like I don't know. I don't know. I do know. Don't keep talking to me. Okay? Please keep it short, keep it brief, keep it okay? Yeah. But that became too draining for me. And this is why I'm not really like a people person. I told y'all that God's moving within me and like helping me. I'm able to sense a transfer of energy over the phone. So imagine you're doing like you being happy, you being positive, you being uplifting, you being uplifting, you being sympathetic with people, you being empathetic with people. Because customer service, you never know what somebody's going through. I have learned that too. So it's like if I'm constantly putting out good and positive and uplifting and this, that, and the third to put a smile on your face, and people are yelling at me and cussing at me, it's like, damn, I ain't wake up with you this morning. Like, what I do to you? But then that energy started to transfer into me, and then it's like I still have to have the willpower that God put in me to still be happy and positive. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all now, I'm not always happy and positive. I don't always mm, I don't always react to things the way that I should react, but we're doing really, really good these days. Okay? We're doing real good these days because, whoo, baby, some people want to get cussed out. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so financial literacy for me is learning how to save and then budgeting out all of your bills for the month. Now, for me, my financial advisor, which is somebody near and dear to me, she is the one that actually like went through with me step by step my financial standings, like my financial standpoint, and helps read she also helps restore credit too. So we're gonna get into that maybe on another episode. We'll have her come be a guest. But for the meantime, if you need to get in contact with her for like your budgeting or like your credit, like restoring your credit, building your credit, you can definitely get at her through her link here or her at. I don't know which one I'm gonna put down there, but you can get in touch with her with that. Okay, okay. But that's pretty much. I think that's gonna be pretty much it for this episode. So we went over today. We went over how is it being an entrepreneur. What is your hardest challenge? Accepting growth critiques, deciphering growth critiques, and then financial literacy. Yeah. To give y'all a little more detail too in regards to how I save, I actually had to redo my list because I'm actually like so my bills are still the same, but my income is different now. So I make more money doing Uber, but I do have to set a budgeting goal for like each day that we go out versus me working a full-time job knowing that I'm gonna get this much money if I work this amount of hours versus doing Uber, it actually fluctuates. You get what I'm saying? So I can make $300 this day, but this day I only made $200, which is still good because that was more than what I was making in a day. Okay, hey, hey, all right. But Yeah. So, and that's not for me telling y'all to go quit your job and do Uber full time because it is not for everybody. Everybody don't like to drive. Everybody don't like dealing with people, and everybody don't like delivering food. Okay, everybody don't have the patience. Do you know how much patience? Do you know how much patience you need to do Uber Eats? Because their food is not always ready. Them customers still be calling, but it's less interaction with people than it would be if I was working at a regular job. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, that, but that's just my personal preference. And I will say that per se, I make that much money on Uber Eats because I've been a driver for Uber Eats for a very long time. Like I think I started driving Uber Eats in 2019, and that was before I even moved here to Atlanta. Which is crazy because now that I think about it, when I was living in Memphis, I was I was doing it like I would literally quit a job and just do Uber Eats and still be okay until I went and got another job. Because the thing is, Memphis is so much smaller than Atlanta. Like I wasn't making as much unless it was definitely based off tips. But back then, I started at the lowest of the low. I had to work my way up. Okay. And today, your girl is, I think it's silver. I'm the highest driver. I know that, baby. 5-star rating. Okay. But what is that? What is that? What is that? What am I? I am a diamond driver, and my satisfaction rate is 95%, and my rating is a 5-star rating. So yeah, let's see. It's a 6 years, 7 months with my journey with Uber, and then I had a total of 1,738 trips, and that's including rides and that's including food. So that's both of them, okay? Because even though I don't like really to transfer energy, I still was picking some people up because sometimes like the season calls for it, baby. People need rides to and from the airport, to and from these basketball games, to and from these football games, to and from these parties. Baby, they need a ride, okay? Somebody somewhere need a ride to get somewhere, okay? But it wasn't busy like that in Memphis because again, it's so much smaller than Atlanta. So I would basically what I make here in the same amount of time that I would be out doing it at home, like in Memphis versus here, back then when I was still like a lower profile Uber driver, now I would say I make like 3 times what I would make from back then in the same amount of time. So if you're gonna do it, then you have to do it. Like you have to work your way up. But you can't just expect to go in and be making like the same type of delivery and rides that I get. You can't expect to make the same fare that I get. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been doing it for a long time, baby. Okay. And I actually enjoy doing it, as I keep telling y'all. But that's just a little hearsay, okay? That's just so y'all know, like, so y'all don't think, oh, I can go quit my job and just do Uber Eats because Vicky did it. Don't do that. Do not blame that on me. Don't blame it on me because Vicky been doing Uber since 2019 and it's 2025. And I was doing it a full time job then, and I'm doing it a full time job now, which is crazy. Another crazy thing is people really told me that I should not quit my job that I had working as a security job to do Uber because everybody was like, "Well, what if the app crash and what if this that and just all kinds of stuff." But I'm telling this to tell y'all now, don't let other people take the fear away from what you have. They didn't have no faith in it. Like what may seem crazy to you is exactly what God wants you to do. What may seem inhumane to them. Inhumane, insane to them. God didn't give it to them. He gave it to you. He gave it to me. Okay? That's why he told me to leave and do it every time that I wanted to do it. Okay? So that's another lesson. Live your life for you. Don't let nobody try to deter you from what you're trying to do or what you want to do. Do whatever makes you happy. Okay? You happy. Because guess what your girl do? They be asking me, oh, why your skin glowing? First of all, I wash my face every day. Okay? Let's start there. I wash my face every day. I drink my water. I eat my fruit. I eat my vegetables. And I mind my business. Okay? Mind my business. But again, aside from that, a girl is just happy. I'm stress free. Like I get to have the freedom to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And I like what I do for money. Like I love my employment. I like recording videos. I like making candles. Now I like making videos, the editing, 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 editing videos. I like that too, but it's just very time consuming. And I'm a very precise person. Like I want it perfect or we're not gonna do it. Like some things we will have to like learn as we go, learn along the way, which is actually what happened with me editing videos. But if I don't like the video, I'm not putting it out. Okay. But anyway, that is gonna wrap up all of our topics for today on the second episode of Lil Mike Talks. And then the last thing that we do, which we might add some more stuff in later, but for now, we're just going to do topics. And then we have a segment where we do Lil Note for the week. Okay? So, Lil Note for the week is basically based off sermons that I have personally watched and taken notes from and actually started to apply to my life or at least attempted in a sort of way to apply to my life. And I actually turn it into a explanation and I post it on Instagram. Now I'll put the handle here. That way if you guys want to go see more of that content or like more of what I post in like real time, like throughout the week, because I usually try to do once a day, like 5 days a week, once a day. But I think I might go ahead and change it to 7 days a week, like jumping right back in it because I was doing it once a day, like actually doing it every day. But then for some reason, a girl got off track, and that's neither here nor there because God always welcomed me back with open arms every single time, baby. Okay? Okay. But yeah, if you want to see that more throughout the week, I am going ahead and preparing for that too. So yeah, this one that we have is from, I don't have a date, but oh, let me tell y'all too. So, because we want to give credit when credit is due. Okay? All right. So, I actually watched Transformation Church, which is ran by Pastor Mike Todd, and I watch him on YouTube. That is one of the main people that I watch and get like my notes from. And then I explain it on the Instagram page. And then here I'll actually be applying it to like to y'all to tell y'all how it applies to my life. You get what I'm saying? Like, how am I going through with this note from that sermon in my life as today? You get what I'm saying? But I'm not going to do every single one since I am only going to be posting one episode a week. But those posts will be 7 a week, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. If it don't make sense to you, I'm going to break it down for you. We only record episodes once a week. Okay? Me and you, we face to face like this once a week. Okay? But those posts on the Instagram handle, they're 7 days a week. Okay? You picking up what I just put down? Okay. I hope you did. But it comes from Transformation Church and it also comes from Jerry Flowers as well. I listen to him on Apple Podcasts when I'm usually doing Uber everywhere. They rose in the real, yeah, Uber everywhere. But I usually listen to him when I'm doing Uber, like listen to my podcast. Like when I pick up Ava today from school, I'm gonna be listening to podcasts. That's just plain and simple. But yeah. So for this week, we have you have to want your purpose more than your pleasure. What's for your pleasure may be what you want, but not what you need. Know that following in your purpose holds a greater outcome than your own pleasure. Now, I know what that means because I'm actually going through that now, and I actually already went through this. So I went through this, I would say, probably when I put it out. Probably whenever I posted it, I was actually going through that. Like, I wanted my own ways. Like, I wanted, I wanted to keep the life that I already had.
This is a reminder. Upload short to YouTube from TikTok.
Okay, as y'all probably just heard, that is my Alexa. That's my assistant. Because as y'all can see, a girl is at home on her couch. Comfortable. Studio space coming soon. In God's time and not ours. Amen. Amen. But anyway, I actually went through that before, and I feel like I'm actually going through that again now because it just be like some things, y'all know that things that are not good for you. The things that's not good for you but feel good to you, those are your fleshly things. Like things that make you feel good being here on this earth, but it's only for your flesh. Like your flesh want to take you to hell, and it's not even going with you. Like it may be too deep. It may be too deep. But if y'all don't know what I said, your flesh wants to take you to hell, and it's not even going with you. Like let's be for real. Like a lot of people not gonna understand this, and that's completely fine. And we may be deep in just for the second episode, but y'all gonna get to see. Y'all gonna get to see me and how I move and how I talk to my people in my everyday life. Y'all are gonna get to see that. That is the main purpose of this podcast. God told me to put my life out there for y'all, and hey, who am I to stop it? Okay, but yeah, you got to know that what your flesh is yearning for is not meant for what God has for you, which is basically your purpose in life. And then that post is basically saying like you're chasing your pleasure for right now, but what do you do when it's gone? And then when it's gone, are you able to even like keep the sight, keep the vision of the purpose that you have of what God's been trying to show you? Like your actual purpose in life, are you able to do that? Because if you're not able to decipher from that, like if you keep falling into your pleasures and not following your purpose, you just gonna keep on repeating the same patterns. You're gonna stay over here while your purpose is over here, and it's basically giving you a light of life. A light of life. I don't know if y'all I don't know if y'all hear me say that or not, but it sounds like I messed it up. But anyway, yeah, your purpose is to give you a light of life, like to show you that life is better if you're doing this, or if you're over here following the steps that God had you doing. Like He'll show you whatever I took from you, I can give you greater from that. Hence why it says for you to get a greater outcome. But I'm gonna leave y'all on that note, and I'm gonna see y'all next week again. Thank y'all for tuning in for the Lil Mike Talk Show. My name is Vicky. I'm also going to put my financial advisor's information in the description as well so that y'all can get in touch with her for like your budgeting, like your credit, things like that. I think she does go by appointment, but you'll be able to see that once you go on like her social media and her website and stuff like that. And if you don't see it, don't hesitate to inbox her and ask her because she'll respond. Like even if she don't respond, she'll direct you to the site, and the site literally breaks everything down piece by piece, like ABC 1, 2, 3, for what you need to do and what y'all gonna be talking about. Okay. Oh, and this cute top, if you've already seen my if you've already seen my YouTube videos or like my old Instagram posts, you'll know that this shirt is actually from a woman's desire boutique. This shirt and these pants are actually from there. Candle over there is by Lorraine Sense. But yeah, thanks y'all for watching this episode, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye y'all.